Coming to you live from the San Francisco Bay Area. It's time for Zig in the Zone with Ralph Zig Tycho.
Hey everybody, Zig in the Zone. How you doing, Pauly?
Doing well, my man. How you doing, Ziggy?
Well, I could not be worse today, and that's not a joke. Marty Rose passed of ALS after suffering with it for 3 years, and he took a lot of the sprinkles off my ice cream cone of life by leaving us. I won't dwell on.
He goes back to your childhood, to Jackson Heights, right?
He goes back to the second grade when we had the best second grade teacher in history, Ms. Ross. And we were Y kids together at age 10. We went to the Flushing Y. We walked to Newtown High School every day in the cold, in the winter. He joined the Air Force because I joined the Air Force, and it was going to be a safe trip. Well, he went to Vietnam, and because of Agent Orange that he was exposed to, that we didn't even hear about Agent Orange until years later. He developed ALS. And we are both longtime Met fans. We've done podcasts on the Comfortably Zone network together since its inception. He's irreplaceable. And what can I tell you? Life goes on, but you wonder why.
Well, yeah, that's a tough one. I mean, that's your buddy. That you grew up with him, you hung out with him. So you both went into the Air Force, and
I stayed in California, and he went to Vietnam. And there was more to it. If you're not a fighting person, being in Vietnam, and we sent each other cassettes back and forth.
Right.
And so I knew what he was going through. There's the terror of being attacked by mortars. And they didn't tell us about that when we enlisted.
Right.
And so he went through a year of, aside the contracting what eventually turned out to be ALS. And we were talking off the air. I can't think of anything worse than that. And um, I I don't know how it would affect me in the way that I'd be looking for a way out. I wouldn't go through it. Um and so what can I tell you?
No,
That's the way.
it's a tough one. So here's another thing, which I don't even know how to broach this. So how Lou Gehrig played for not the Mets, he played for the Yankees, right?
Right.
Gotcha. And it's kind of ironic, I guess, if you will, that he passes from ALS and he's there and, he's your New York buddy.
Yeah, well, New York hero. Let's put it that way. Oh,
Right.
and
And
and Mert
Marty. Yeah.
and Mert had a lot of the same qualities as a neighborhood kid as Lou Gehrig. He was
Okay.
quiet, unassuming, and didn't get into the ego shit that a lot of us got into.
He was a humble
Um,
kid. He was a pretty grounded
he
kid. He was a kid. He was a, what do they call it? He was a, they call it sometimes like you have that old man mentality when you're a child.
right, and he took good care of his younger brother Bond, who I talked to today, and my heart goes out to him and Peggy, his wife, and uh, two daughters and a grandchild. They call me Uncle Ralph.
How did how
Um,
did how did the nickname Mert come around?
well, there was Marty and Bernie, and I contend it was me. No one else remembers. I named Marty Mert with the E and Bernie Bond.
Gotcha.
And I don't know how it came about, but I remember starting it, and we're talking about fifth grade. Um, that those years. So we have so many memories, so many sports memories together, because his uncle was a famous sports writer named Murray Rose, who covered boxing and the Olympics. And he worked for Associated Press. And his dad worked in the same office, Jack Rose, on the teletype or whatever. And they were able to get Marty tickets to virtually every home game that the Rangers played, and the Knicks as well, and the Titans, and the roller derby. We didn't pay jack the seats, and oftentimes we had courtside seats, great seats, because the teams were papering the crowd. Stunning comedy, am I right?
No, that's crazy that you had access to that when you were
Yeah,
that young.
yeah, we were very lucky. So I would say knowing Mert, besides my grandfather, he was the biggest influence on my sports fanaticism um, going. And So there's more to it than just losing a friend.
Right.
Um,
It's a chunk
he
of your history. It's part
eh,
of your
and
identity.
he was as much a brother to me
Your brother,
as
right?
my brother. Certainly,
Right.
we were closer. Not taking anything away from the relationship that my brother and I had, because there really wasn't much to take away from. And I say that because of parents that uh, led a somewhat dysfunctional family, in part because my father traveled and was gone so much of the time. But that's another podcast.
That's a
Um,
whole different podcast because, we've had these conversations ourselves. My family puts the fun in dysfunctional. And so
right.
and so we get it. Families are that way, but that's
Oh,
why there's something very pure about friendship. It's the old adage, right? You can pick your friends, you can't pick your family, or you can't pick your family,
right.
but you can pick your friends, but you
Or you
can't pick your
see,
or and you can pick your nose, but you can't pick your friend's nose, or
yeah,
something
or
like
you
that.
see.
There you go.
You know, we joke, but you and I have a lot of the same things in common, and that we can recognize the frailties of life and understand and not be judgmental of each other. We get along very well, Paul.
No, we are. We do. We're kind of what is it? Brothers from another mother, siblings
Right?
from another dribbling.
Yeah,
So,
that's a very good expression. I haven't heard that before. So,
yeah, siblings from another dribbling.
yeah,
So, yeah, so I mean, and there is something very pure about friendship, especially those ones that form when we're young, when we're children. Um, it doesn't matter if you have those friendships all your life. You might have a friendship that this was my best friend and we used to ride bikes around all the time. We would ride them all around town. I still think about that friend all the time, but I haven't seen him for 50 years.
right. And Marty and I would ride our bike to LaGuardia Airport from Jackson Heights. Wasn't
Okay.
very far. Wasn't very far. But we'd go up to the
And LaGuardia's
observation
in the
deck.
news a lot lately. LaGuardia's in the news a lot lately. Go on though.
Well, what's it in the news for? Just
Because of all the stuff happening there, plus whatever incident happened the other day and stuff. Yeah. So LaGuardia. But yeah.
I missed out on that.
So part of
I
it
did a
was the ice deal and the lines going for like around the building and this and that, and people having to wait for security for like 5 hours, and then there was some other incident which I can't remember what it is now, but there was some other incident and it was at LaGuardia too, and I was like,
Yeah,
okay,
can
that's
you give
real
me a
happening.
reason? Can you give me a reason for putting ice where trained people
Oh,
for years?
can we give any
Cre-
real reason that he's doing anything? I woke up this morning and he had said that he really hates to, basically wipe the entire race of Iranian people off the face of the planet. But, if they don't get their act together by 8 o'clock tonight, they're gone. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Okay, so
no,
you've been talking about it for about 6 months or even maybe longer about the 25th Amendment. Boy, is it due. I
yes,
saw two or three different Republicans over the weekend tweet things like, happy Easter, everybody. But, Republicans, you should be talking to lawyers about the 25th Amendment and start talking to J.D. Vance, which is even scarier because you need J.D. Vance, too, because he would take over. And so.
But at this point, he's not as sick, not necessarily
Right.
not as evil, but not as sick. This guy should not have his hands on the code.
Right.
And but we've been saying this for 2 years now,
Yeah.
every week.
Right.
I think this is the week, this upcoming week, where things will change. Amendment 25, impeachment.
His numbers keep crashing. Republicans keep flipping on him. I'm figuring it's a matter of time before the whole thing tips. But
Right. How much
I
damage
don't
could
think
he
it's
do
going to
in the
be. So
meantime?
you also been asking me for 2 years, what do I think it's going to be that takes him down? Now I know what it is. Now I know what it's going to be. It's not going to be any one thing. It's going to be a collective of everything. People are just going to, for everybody, there's going to be that hill for everyone to stand on. And maybe for you, it's ICE at airports or ballot places. For someone else, it's that we're in Iran. Someone else, it's the Venezuelan boats. We don't know. But all I know is the country we thought had checks and balances is full of bullshit. Because if we had checks and balances, this guy wouldn't have been able to do half the shit he's been able to do for the last 4 months.
Right. And you
This
look
guy
at
is
Great
taking it out on
Britain.
U.S. citizens on multiple levels. Yet, if we were to say something, which I don't care, I'm still waiting for ICE to break down my door, but I'm a 60-year-old white guy in the middle of California, so I don't think they're coming to get me. I think the only thing that might be coming to get me is a drone strike. And it'd probably be from our own fucking government at this time, because of these people. He woke up, what was it, yesterday, and called them on Easter. He called them bastards and motherfuckers, the Iranian people, and I'm like, who is this guy? Oh, that's right, he's our
President of the
leader.
United States.
Right.
Jesus Christ. That collective of bad things that you refer to,
Right,
should have been activated a long time ago.
on his first go through. Yeah, his first
Right.
term.
And if Roe v. Wade, the loss thereof, didn't make it clear to women, then I thought then we were hopeless.
Look how many
And
things have happened since then. Look how many things have happened since Roe v. Wade, since he overturned Roe v. Wade, stacked the justices. Think of how many things have changed since then. That seems like almost like the Bible, like it was written eons ago, because the news cycle is so frequent and fervent that
right,
it's constant. It's news whiplash. I'm looking this way and I'm getting snapped that way for the next thing. And so
but
it's
wait a minute,
ridiculous.
Roe v. Wade fucks up, the lack thereof, fucks up sexuality for both men and women
Oh yeah.
on some
And
level.
rights for everyone. And rights for everyone,
Right,
yes.
right. So that should not have gone unnoticed in the news cycle for society's best
Oh, it didn't.
interest.
It just that I'm saying there's so many things now.
Right, right. There's so many things came up. The cover up of this, that, when you think about it, it's all a cover up at this point for Epstein.
Well, yeah.
And
So there's one thing that it's the distraction. He's all about the distraction. So a lot of
right,
people have said it's all about eyes on the ball, and the ball is Epstein, and we don't want to have our eyes on the ball. And
yeah.
so I get it.
But
Again, I
at
don't
this
think it's going to be
point,
any one thing. It's going to be multiple things. And maybe that's what's going to take him down. Because so the Epstein thing is so serious. It's like his sexual misconduct that he had before. So pedophilia, sexual misconduct,
yeah, it makes you
that's a
think of the
different
cat.
animal. That's a slightly different animal than just ripping off the American people. Putting
Yeah,
us in harm's way, that's a different animal in itself, too. He is literally, our commander in chief has put the United States, its military, everything at risk of national security because of the stupid, asinine things. And like you said, here, this guy shouldn't even be, he should be taken out. 25th Amendment. And we're saying this, and he's our leader.
right.
The global consensus is this guy's a nut. He's a nut. He has dementia. He was a nut before he had the dementia. That kind of shit.
Right, but now his health, his physical health, the dementia notwithstanding, the last few days, he's losing it physically. Um,
Right.
for a 79-year-old man like myself to wish that a 79-year-old other man
Yeah, I
dropped
hate to say
dead,
it. I hate to say it. He's your peer.
right? That's right.
Could have been
And
your
if
neighbor in New York City.
couldn't have been my name, but I'm Jewish. What can I tell
So
you?
his father could
Uh,
have evicted your kin.
his father evicted Woody Guthrie.
Right. Could have
As a,
could
as
have
a,
evicted your kin. Yes, sir.
yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Um, uh, is it, speaking of dysfunctional families, as we
Oh my
were,
God! So,
there's
and his
there's
father is
all
the
the
one
rest.
that his father is the one he respects. His mother, I don't know enough about his mother, but I'm
Right.
thinking
Well,
she didn't do a really good job.
she should have had her tubes tied when she was 20. Um,
Well, I'm
but
thinking, okay, so even though the father is usually the traditional disciplinarian in a family, I think it's the mother that really gets through to the son on some level. That's why there's always a
right,
mama's boy and a daddy's girl. I think
right,
there's a dynamic there that can't be beat. It kind of, I hate to use the word, it trumps them all. It literally does, because I think that mother could have shown that kid love, compassion, and whatever, and we wouldn't be dealing with the shit. We jokes about it all the time about when we start doing our thing about Head Start program. Too bad someone didn't read that kid a book. Someone
Hey,
didn't
you know
sit
what?
down with that kid on his lap, or really do the things that I guess came in our lives pretty naturally.
We never talked about this before. I just thought of it that part of what's wrong with this country is that there used to be, in the 50s at least, a predominance of mothers that stayed home and
Right,
watched the kids.
right.
And I don't know if that's necessarily a good thing that it isn't there anymore, but a lot of it is economics.
Well, and I
And
think and I think it's okay that traditional norms have changed, but I think what it gave your generation and those generations right in there,
right,
what motherhood and being a homemaker and a stay-at-home mom really did, because
and how
that
about
all kind of flipped
Saturday?
in the 60s and 70s. You're right, that dynamic flipped a little bit. There were stay-at-home dads, and they were single parents, and so,
Right, like
but what
myself,
that did, I
stay at
think
home
that
dad.
provided I think that provided kids with continuity, stability, and consistency. So it doesn't matter where you get those three, as long as you get them, right? Just like love,
Yeah,
kindness, empathy, and sympathy. You need to have
yeah,
all those things,
and the
right?
kid will grow up hating you anyway, so fuck it.
Whatever. It's gonna happen one way or another.
One way or the other, the
Right.
kid will blame the parent. It's always
Yeah. What
been
do they
that
say?
way.
It one way or your mother. It's gonna happen.
One way or your mother.
It's gonna
you
happen.
are, you got some quips today, young
Am
man.
I on it?
Hey,
Am I firing on all 8 cylinders? This is kind of cool.
well, seven, but you'll be following. You'll be on 8 cylinders once you do a little business for us.
All right, so
Uh,
let's do that. I'm going to mute you. I'm going to do what I do so well. As Ziggy said, we're all lawyered up. We've got peace of mind. Please go patronize and follow our sponsors. Here we go, guys. Whether it's criminal defense, estate planning, or civil litigation, the answer is the law offices of Andrew Doja. Call us today at 510-865-1600 or find us on the web at dojalaw.com.
For tenant and landlord disputes, there's no other than the law office of Jeff Canberra. Call now 1-510-865-7369 and don't forget to tell them Zig sent you.
And of course, make sure you go like, follow, and subscribe to Zig in the Zone on all social media platforms. That's right. You can check us out on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitch. That's right, folks. Go like, follow, subscribe, ring that little bell. You'll be notified when there's a new podcast like this one that's going to drop into your box. And then, Ziggy, what do you say, buddy? What do you say about the Head Start program?
my thoughts of the Head Start program. The program has never been needed more than it is today. If for no other reason, and this is aside bringing warm clothing in the winter for kids, books are very important. Developing a passion for a kid is very important.
Again, the Head Start programs help children get ready to succeed in school and in life. Early learning and development, health and wellness, family well-being, and family engagement. It all starts with a book, right, Zig?
Absolutely. It's whatever you read as a kid. What do you remember reading as a real young kid that could, you could say, shape your life a little bit?
It's the classics. It's all the ones that the kids read. It's like Edgar Allan Poe, The Raven. No, I'm kidding.
Right, right.
Premature burial, things like that. Those are the things that really split. No, probably the things that I remember early on are the books that were read to me, and then I started reading. It's things like Dr. Seuss. I'm a big Dr. Seuss fan, so. And that's what I turned my kids on when I started reading to them was Dr. Seuss books. Helps you with vocabulary, considering half the words aren't even in the English vocabulary, right?
Right.
And then, but it also helps you with tongue ties and twisters. What's that?
It teaches the kid to play for words.
Right.
And that it doesn't have to be formal. And the quips are so important to learn by. Me, it was Robin Hood. I remember loving Robin Hood and getting all kinds of pictures of picture books of Robin Hood with Friar Tuck and
what
Little
was your
John.
source for books as a kid? Was it school? Was it the local library? Was it both? What was it?
It was both.
Right.
The older I get, the more I appreciate a New York education, New York City education. It was not the best, but from it taught you the books that they provided contributed to your ideology.
Right.
That's and it was always socialistic. No one in as a kid was looking to be a millionaire.
Right.
Didn't matter what your father did; it's what your father showed up for. What he did for a living was none of my fucking business. Whoever it was.
Because you
Uh,
were from a working class neighborhood.
absolutely,
it's not what you did. It's
absolutely.
just showing up,
Yeah.
being there.
Which fathers went to the park and watched the kid and educated the kid on catching a baseball or football.
Right.
Um, and we understood, especially later, that fathers
Oh,
were
can you
working
adjust your
people.
camera? Can you pick up your camera because we're sliding more.
Uh,
There we go. Thank you, sir.
how about that?
That's better.
Um,
Thank you.
we understood that fathers, and understand later that fathers had to work for a living.
Right.
That what can I say? They weren't perfect times, but they weren't as hectic as these times. And by the time we have another podcast, he'll be gone. That's my
Hmm.
prediction. And so, hope we have a podcast tomorrow. with
Yeah.
that
Right.
in mind, with that in mind, Paulie, tell me what's going on in your life.
Um.
I
I'm
know
kind of.
things
I'm
have,
kind of. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I know things have been hectic. Your son is better,
Yeah.
and
He's currently. I wouldn't say he's better. He's in a holding pattern. We still don't know anything why he had this brush with death, and he's still kind of not out of harm's way 100%. So I've kind of been sleeping with one eye open, been more attentive as a parent. Again, this child is 29 years old, so it's not like my young infant, but constantly checking in with him, being a part of it. Even right before we started, I checked in with him. So there's a lot of that. So that's happening with that child. There's always something going on with my kids because that's what happens when you have kids. Then there's the parents. My parents are getting older. Um, it's like the Mickey Joseph jokes that he used to do about his parents. He's like, my parents used to take me to the movies and drop me off. Now I take them to the movies. They used to
uh,
change my diapers. Now that I change their diapers. Things like that. So
At
it's a big change
Costco
right
too.
now. I'm sorry,
Yeah,
I didn't hear you. I'm sorry.
I joked you changed their diapers at Costco.
Yeah, at
Um,
Costco, it was hard to get them up on that little changing table. So
right. Uh,
but yeah,
uh,
so there's been a lot of challenges with stuff, and the studios are still there. We're not as active as we need to be, which is sad. Um, and every time like I think we have something else going on, something falls through. So I think I'm gonna continue doing the studios. I just don't know how much longer I'm gonna stay in San Francisco proper, just because of the amount of time, effort, energy, and by now I thought I'd have at least one or two other people running that place, and it would just be on autopilot. But it's not, and that's okay. But we're getting to that point where I'm gonna make some changes because if you stay stagnant too long, it becomes a problem. So I think with me, I'm gonna change up. I just don't know when. And I think this summer is the time. I don't know. So, but Ed Studio will continue to produce content such as Zig in the Zone, Junkyard Rat, LFG, stuff like that. So, stay tuned. It's just going to be a different way of doing it. And so we're here for y'all. Anyway, so that's what's
All
happening with
right.
me. I'm exhausted. I'm burnt. I'm tired. Been doing a lot of things. Haven't been performing as much as I've wanted. I've been writing a lot. I have so much material that I haven't even worked out on stage. I've been writing like crazy. I probably have 40 minutes of material that I haven't worked out on stage yet.
Wow.
And that's what I've written in the last 6 months. At least 40 minutes of material.
Every comedian that talks about life as a comedian stresses that you got to keep writing. You write or die,
Right.
and keep it going, Paulie.
Yeah, I appreciate it. It's a way for us to cope. It's a way for us to deal with things. Somebody had me write them a reference yesterday, and I was like, oh, good, because I wanted to write, but I didn't want to put really any effort into it. And
Right.
if I have a task, it's easy. I just go about my task. What do I have to say in this communication?
Yeah.
And so that's
Who
really
is the
easy for me to do. Huh?
Who is the writer that said, "I hate writing, but I love having written"?
Oh, I don't know, but
Uh,
that there is a sense of
Not mine. I
accomplishment.
didn't say it. I didn't say it.
No, but I mean, but there's a sense of accomplishment with that statement. You're right. Sometimes
Uh,
it's daunting if you're a structured writer or a disciplined writer, and your thing is that you need to write for so long every day, regardless if you have it in you or not. Like today, when you found out about Marty, you may have been just, hey, I just need to reflect on my past and my friend, and give him his time. With me, I would have probably thought about it for probably a minute or two, and then I would have needed to start writing. And then even if I was tapping into my phone, I would have realized it so many pages in or so many paragraphs in, and then I would have said, oof, I feel like I just ran a marathon. It really it's a great way for me to cope, to go through the motions of things. There's a lot of times when things are too dark or too bad that I don't want to deal with them. I don't want to deal with this right now. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to see it. I've got too much on my plate. I'll get to it when I get to it. That's not a good plan. A good plan is to deal with things as they come so they don't stack up like
right.
problems do. And so if you find yourself dealing with things in the moment and not brushing them off, because they never come back when it's convenient. I notice that about problems. They don't come back when it's convenient. They come back when it's the worst possible time for them to come back. And it's
But
usually
they
in the
do
middle of
come
some
back.
other drama, some other bullshit.
They do come back, so that you can depend on.
Right. So like with this, I think when I lose someone, I start thinking and my mind starts going, and sometimes my mind has a problem making sense of it, so I start writing, and all of a sudden it kind of goes in an order. And even if it doesn't fall right into order in the beginning, like some sort of linear fashion, because when I'm thinking about things, it's almost like I don't know how to think. I explain it. Maybe like the Tasmanian devil, or like, do you remember those things? It was called spin art. You would put a cardboard piece of thing down on a moving disc, like a Lazy Susan thing, and you would squeeze paint on it, and it would splatter the paint. That's kind of how my brain is when I start dealing with things. Especially if I'm stressed, it starts grabbing things from everywhere, and all of a sudden I need to like center myself, start doing breathing, start thinking about what I need to think about, and then I start shutting these other things out, which is not good. I mean, I try to focus on just whatever is really what I can deal with in the moment, because most of my problems I can't even deal with. I'm not in control of them. It's someone else or some other circumstances, and the only thing I can control is the way I absorb it or deal with it. And so the problems always come up. It's like, oh, this issue just happened, but then I start thinking about all these other things I put off, and all of a sudden you get overwhelmed, and that's where panic attacks happen and other things like that. Like right now, I feel myself. If you haven't noticed, for the last 2 or 3 minutes, I've been stretching and doing things as I'm talking, because my body apparently was absorbing some tension and some drama or trauma, and it
Well,
was
am I
residing in
strange?
my lower back.
But I find that to be very erotic. Way to
Very
go, Paul.
erotic. Oh, we ain't doing that kind of podcast, sir.
Okay, we won't.
But yeah, no, so that's what's going on with me. I'm dealing with problems as they come. Things have been overwhelming, but I've been trying to pace myself and deal with them. And yeah, I don't know how well I'm doing it, but I'm trying.
You're doing the best you can. How
Oh, well,
about
that's
that?
for sure. That's for sure. I'm doing the best that I can right now.
And you're living with the results, and you're not taking it all that personally. It's just fucking life. You know, looking at it that way, as long as you are doing the best you can,
Right.
and not you, everybody, we all
Right.
need to do what we can, the best we can. And let's talk to our Congress people about getting this son of a bitch out of office. Um, I'm sure the Republicans want him out as much as the Democrats.
Yeah,
So,
it's funny because I've never really wanted summer to go by so quickly just to get to the midterms.
well,
That's not the child that I remember growing up with, that loved summer. Right now I just want to get to the point of where we can get some of these people out of office, get the House
it
back,
won't take
and
that long. He's going to be gone in a week or so. You'll see.
all right, I'll put you down on the company pool.
All right.
On the
Um,
I'll put you down on a square. You just tell me which day next week you think he's gonna fold, and we'll do it.
I can't even tell you the days that I'll still be alive.
Oh, that would be
So,
cool if he folded on a Tuesday, because then it would be Taco Tuesday. They always say, what is it?
uh,
Trump always chickens out. That's it. Taco. Trump
it'd
always
be
chickens
not.
out.
It'd be nice to get up with some good news tomorrow.
Yeah, that would be. So,
All right.
this, I guess we're gonna say this podcast is in memory of your buddy Mert, Marty
Absolutely.
Rose.
Marty,
Um,
rest in peace, my good friend. I'll always be thinking of you. You still with me?
yes, I am. I just I didn't
Uh,
want to cut you off. I want to make
no,
sure I
I
didn't.
appreciate that, but the words aren't as articulate as the feelings. So,
Well, one of these days you'll be
uh,
riding your bicycle again with Mert.
right.
Probably over to LaGuardia
Uh,
and probably getting into mischief.
hey, LaGuardia, by the way, they named the airport after him, was
Right.
the best mayor that New York ever had. And he's one of those people like Jackie Robinson that I write a book report on all the time. they, I read him, and he was a good mayor. So Rest
Yeah,
in
they definitely
peace.
named it. I'm glad they named it after him instead of Giuliani. That's for damn sure.
Oh yeah,
That would have been in a disgrace.
that would have been horrible. To
All right, get us
talk.
out of here like only you can, sir.
Hey, thank you for honoring my friend, and Paulie, you're terrific.
Love you, buddy. Couldn't do this without you. Well, literally couldn't do this without you because it's Zig in the
Uh,
Zone. Zig in the
it is
Zone.
Zig in the Zone, and if anything ever happens to Zig in the Zone, you can be Paulie in the Zone, and we won't miss a beat. Um, little humor there.
We won't have to think about that for a long, long time, my friend.
Oh yeah, long, long time,
All
many
right, buddy.
years.
All
Be
right.
well, everybody. Thank you for
We'll
listening.
and we'll see you next week in the zone, folks. Until next time, see ya.
All right.
Bye.